you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys always for the support. I love you guys.
So first you're going to grab your primer. I'm using the Embryo Leaves primer, and you just want to take a little amount, basically as if you were moisturizing your face, especially if you have dry skin. This is a step that you definitely want to take. And then once you're done with that, just grab a spoolie just to comb your brow hairs, make sure that's all going in the right direction. And then I'm going to take my RCMA VK11 palette, and I'm going to place that on my brow bone. This is just to add a little bit more of a cleaner and sharper effect to my brows. This definitely helps if you need your eyebrows done and you want to disguise that. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I'm just going to blend out that concealer with a clean blending brush. Next, I'm going to move on to priming my eyes, and I'm using the Benefit Lemonade Primer, and I'm just patting that all over my lids. And then I'm going to move on to my shadow, and I'm using the Nubian palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm taking that very warm color right there, and I'm placing that all over my lid and onto my crease. I wanted a color that was basically neutral, where it kind of seemed like I wasn't even wearing eyeshadow. Moving on to liner, I'm using the LA Splash Architect Liner, and I'm using the Rimmel London Liquid Liner. I mixed two different liquids so that I can get a darker line. This definitely helps if you guys don't want to use gel liner. You can just use two different liquid liners and it'll come out just as black. So first I'm starting out with the LA Splash Liner, and obviously you want to take your time when you're doing wing liner because it is very tricky. And the Rimmel London Liner, you can find that at any Walmart. It's like $8. So you can see right here how much darker it got once I added the Rimmel London over the LA Splash. Next, I'm moving on to my gold liner, and I'm using the Makeup Forever Aqua Liner in Diamond Gold. And I'm just placing that right over the black liner. If you happen to get a little bit of the gold onto the black, you can just grab your black liner again and kind of go over it, and you'll see me do that step because I did get it a little bit on to my black liner. Now I'm adding my Salon Perfect 615 lashes. These are also lashes that you could purchase at Walmart, so very inexpensive. And then I'm going to add my They're Real mascara, and this is also by Benefit. After this, I'm moving on to my face, and I'm using the MAC Moisture Foundation. And then I'm just going to place that all over my face. Again, I already mixed it together. And before I get foundation everywhere, I'm wiping that off my hand, and I'm going to grab my artist brush now and blend out my foundation. No, this is not a spoon. This is a real brush. And it gives a very airbrush effect, which is why I love it so much. Then I'm moving on to my color corrector, and I'm using the orange one from LA Girl Cosmetics, and I'm placing that right underneath my eyes, and then I'm going to buff it out with a smaller artist brush. You want to make sure you buff it out a lot since it is a cream. Once you add your cream color corrector, you don't want it to crease because you have too much product. Then I'm going to use the Benefit Dandelion Shy Beam. It's a matte highlighter, and I'm just going to place that right underneath my eyes and the high points of my face. Now that I'm done doing that, it's time to buff it out, and I'm just taking a beauty blender and I am just pressing it into my face to make sure that I have absolutely no streaks. Now I'm going to set my face, and I'm using the Tarte's palette. I'm going back and forth between the light and the yellow. The light is going underneath my eyes, and the yellow powder, I'm going to place that on the center of my face so that I'm not too bright right in the center. Now you want to give yourself at least a good 5 minutes to bake and let that powder set in. Once that time is done, I am going to now dust it off, and you can just tell how much it just stuck to my face. Then I'm going to take the Benefit Do the Hula bronzer, and this is basically the liquid version of the Hula bronzer, and I love it. It's like my new favorite. Now I'm moving on to contouring my nose. Once I'm done with that, I'm adding my blush, and I'm using the MAC Melba blush, and I'm going to place that on my cheekbones. You want to make sure when adding blush that it blends really well with your contour. Then I'm going to add my illuminator, and I'm using the Anastacio So Hollywood Illuminator. Moving on to my waterline, I'm using the Ben Nye Light Cream Crayon. I heard it's sold out, but you can use any neutral liner. Then I'm going to take that rusty color right there and add that to the outside of my waterline. Next, I'm just adding some mascara, and then I'm going to move on to my brows, and I'm using the Anastasia Brow Definer in medium brown, and it has a spoolie on one side and then the pencils on the other side. So again, I'm just kind of combing my brows, and now I'm taking the pencil and coloring it in. The pencil is angled, which to me kind of helps your brows look a little bit more realistic because you can draw in more hair-like streaks. And then I'm going to grab the spoolie, make sure the color is spread evenly throughout my brow. Once I'm done with that, I'm moving on to my lips, and I'm using the MAC Chestnut Lip Liner, and I'm just placing that all over my lips. You want to make sure that your lips are not too dry, or else your lip liner is going to end up skipping for you. Now I'm adding my lip color, and I'm using the Dose of Colors Chocolate Wasted Liquid Lipstick. And you want to make sure that you don't place too many layers of liquid lipstick onto your lips. 1 or 2 layers will be good enough. If not, you're going to end up having a lot of cracking later on throughout the day. Next, I'm just adding some Fix Plus for some extra moisture, and we're all done. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, so that was pretty hectic. Okay, so I'm done with this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was I tried to do it like Viva Glam Kay, you know, makeup tutorial. I saw the challenge on Instagram and I saw it was really trending, and my friend Layefa advised me to do it. So I was like, who better else to, you know, replicate than Viva Glam Kay, my fave. It depends on how stressful this video is editing. I hope to do more videos like this. I'll probably do a challenge and replicate maybe Dorothy Perkins or Shayla or Jackie Aina. I don't know, I'm so confused. Ewaronke Raji, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I hope it's not so difficult editing this video, so that will determine if I'm going to be able to, you know, replicate some of the faces or do this challenge again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I want to make mine a little bit different, so I'm going to talk to you guys about my challenges. So we all have like different ways of learning makeup, of doing our makeup, and I know there are lots of people that learn makeup off YouTube. So you know how different people have different ways of doing makeup, and nobody's way is actually wrong as long as you get a good result in the end. So I may do it a different way, Viva Glam Kay may do it a different way, but we both do it well. Okay, so during Viva Glam Kay's, you know, steps today, it opened my eyes. I mean, I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. For example, I'll tell you my most challenging. So when I started the makeup, I saw she highlighted the brow bone first of all, and she didn't fill in the brows till like almost at the end. Now that was really challenging. I was so scared all through when I was doing the makeup. Now first of all, I know how to do my foundation and my foundation before doing my brows, but I have never tried doing eyeshadow before doing my brows. So I was really skeptical. I mean, if I'm doing foundation and then I'm doing my brows, I know how to work it. I know I have to be really neat and light-handed with my brows, you know, so I don't make mistakes because I already did my foundation. But this time around, I was doing I did my eyes and I did everything before I did the brows. That was really challenging. But I got to find out that it wasn't actually that difficult at the end. So I just filled in, and I didn't really have much to conceal because I had already concealed the bottom. So it wasn't that bad. Another thing I learned was, you know how she applied the foundation first and then she went in with the orange corrector before going in with the concealer. Now when I was doing that, I was a bit skeptical, like, are you sure this is gonna turn out well? Are you gonna be able to do it the same way, you know, and get good results just as she did hers? And I found out that it was actually I mean, I think that's a step I'm going to adopt. I don't really know about the brows for now. Yeah, because you know, sometimes I like to be messy, especially when I'm playing with colors. I would just rather do my brows first. But I think the whole orange corrector thing is the step I want to actually adopt, because when I applied the foundation first, there was already a base, and then I put the orange corrector. Blending was so easy, like it just sunk into my skin. I felt like I probably even had nothing on, but you could see the difference. You could see the highlighted, you could see the dark circles and all covered up, okay, and then it gave it this warmish undertone, you get, before I put the concealer on top of it, and then it brightened it. I think I actually prefer that to doing my corrector first and then my foundation. I mean, you still get good results, but I really like the way this blended in when I put the orange corrector on top of the foundation and blended it just sat properly. So I think that's a step I want to adopt. Then what else? I think that's basically it. Everything was pretty much the same, you know, from the eyeshadow application to the liner to, you know, the lips. Everything was pretty much the same. So this was the only thing I had, you know, I felt a bit skeptical about, but at least I was able to make it work. So yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot from this tutorial. Those are my challenges, and yeah, I think I want to do this again. So I mean, if there's anybody you want me to, you know, replicate, if there's any look you want me to replicate, please do let me know. Let me know in the description box below. Make sure you like, make sure you thumbs up, you like, you subscribe, please. I need you guys to subscribe and also comment on the comment section below if you want me to do a particular look, or you know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Thanks for all your support. You guys mean a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys, and bye bye.